Hello and welcome everyone to this video on configuring SAP Workflow Steps by ZaranTech. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our ZaranTech YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to never miss any update from us.
So, hi everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss configuring workflow steps. So, configuring workflow steps in SAP involves setting of various activities, tasks, conditions within the workflow builder to ensure the workflow operates as intended. Now, what is the meaning of it here? So, whatever the steps that you will design, it will be totally depends on your requirement. And whatever the activity that we do in a workflow is called as a step. That means step is nothing but an activity that you will design in your workflow while during its developing phase. Now see, let's take a requirement for leave request approval. And in this requirement, see what is actually happening here. The first step is our workflow start and the last step will always be workflow end. And in between, whatever the activity that we will do, it will be later called as a step. So suppose I have to make I have designing here a user decision, and who will be deciding this? I will be the one who will be the creating this workflow. I will be the one who will decide it. And for this leave request approval, I will send a mail to my reporting manager so that he can decide whether I should be on leave on a particular day or not. So if you will approve this, I will receive a mail that your leave request has been approved, and if you will reject it, again I will receive a mail that your leave request has been rejected by your reporting manager. So whatever activity involved in a workflow creates a object for it. Suppose you created a user decision here after the workflow start. Then what workflow will automatically do? It will create a object for it, and the person involved in the activity is called as a agent. It's called as agent. So the person who will be involved in this activity, suppose in this user decision, who will be the person? The person who will be involved in this user decision will be your reporting manager. So that particular person will be called as agent. And when we create an activity, SAP creates a task on the behalf of the activity, and this task is assigned to the agent. So see what is happening here. When we create an activity, so what is the activity that we created? The activity is the user decision, and SAP creates a task on the behalf of activity. So what SAP did, it created a task on the behalf of this activity, and this task is assigned to the agent. So this task will be assigned to my reporting manager when I will execute this workflow. So this task will be assigned to my, suppose this one is my reporting manager. So this task will be assigned to him or her, and he or she will decide whether I should be on leave on that particular day or not. So whenever a workflow is executed, SAP will create a parent object for it and objects for each of the activity involved in it. So whatever the activity or task that is activity or step that is involved in it, a object will be created for each of it and a parent object for whole of this workflow. And that particular object is called as a work item here. So in workflow, whatever the step or whatever the object that will be created, it will be called as a work item. So what is a work item? A work item is a runtime object for each activity involved in a workflow. So a work item is nothing but a runtime object for each of the activity that is involved in a workflow. Then we have step types. So for this requirement, what are the step types that we have? Let me show to you via my SAP screen. I will simply go to SWDD transaction code and click on this create button. Now see, this is my graphical model where I will design my workflow, and here we have got our navigation area. So whatever the steps that you are going to add here, it will be added in this navigation area, and the type of that steps you can choose from this step type area. See, we have the various kind of step type here: activity, wave activity, send mail, form, user decision. So let's create a user decision first. I'm going to click on this create button, and giving a user decision. And what will be the title for it? I'm going to give a title as approve or reject leave. Leave. Here we have got 4 fields for parameters. So if you want to display something to your reporting manager, and suppose you have stored a certain thing in a variable here, and you want to send this to your agent, this task will be assigned to your reporting manager. And so if you want to send a certain data which you will be passing at the runtime to your reporting manager, you can use these parameters. These are the decision option that you will pass, whatever the decision option you want your reporting manager to see when you will get this task assigned. So the first one is approve request, approve leave, approve leave, and the outcome name is again approve. The second one is reject leave, reject leave. Here reject. Now we are going to click on the save OK button. See, simply click on the save option. Give a abbreviation name and a name. Assign the package and transport request. Now see what is happening here. We got a work ID here and the version of our workflow in the information area. And the decision that you have made, the decision when you created this user decision, you have given 2 decision options. The first one is approve and the second one is reject. Now you need to design what will happen when your reporting manager will click on the approve button and what will happen when you will click on this reject button. So these are the step types that we needed to create. The first one is user decision, which I have already created, and the second one will be send mail. So when my reporting manager will click on the send mail, click on either approve or reject, I want a particular text should be sent to me. Okay. So what I will do here, I'll simply go to this approve and right click on it and click on this create button. So as soon as you click on this create button, you are going to see a lot of step types here, and you will select one of these. The first one is send mail. I have selected. The subject for this approve will be approve, and the text that we need to read is hi user, your leave request has been accepted by your reporting manager. All right. See, then we also need to decide one important thing here is that who should be receiving this mail. So I have already selected as its workflow initiator if I am executing this workflow, and if my reporting manager is approving it, this mail will be sent to me only. All right. Select the workflow initiator. Click on this OK button. All right. We have got this. Approve. Hi, user. Your leave request has been approved. Click on this OK button. Press enter. Assign the package and transport request. All right. So my approve one has been clearly written. Then the next one is reject. Also, one thing that we missed out here while making the user decision, here we can decide who will be receiving this mail. So this is nothing but a task which will be assigned to my reporting manager. So what you can do is either you can use the user and you can give the user ID for your reporting manager, or what you can do is, suppose I want only me to receive it because I am showing this as a demo purpose. So I am giving here workflow initiator, and I will click on this OK button. Then the reject one, right click on it, go to create one and click on this send mail, again workflow initiator and reject. Hi user, your leave request has been rejected by your reporting manager. Now click on this OK button and assign the abbreviation and name. See, our workflow is ready. Now we can click on this activate button. So workflow definition and activated successfully. Simply click on this execute. You will see the test workflow screen here. So you can also directly go to SBWP, and in this inbox folder, you will be receiving a mail for your workflow where you can approve it. I am not going there. I will simply click on this execute and see this kind of message you are going to see. And here you can see the current status is in process. So if whenever first I'm going to click on this approve leave. Now see the workflow log. The approved one is in ready state. So if you will now select the reject one, reject leave, and go to this workflow log, you will see the reject option is in ready status. Also in business workplace, after the completion, you can see here the workflow items executed by me in these two folders. So what is the meaning of step here? So step is nothing. The step is only the activity that you will be performing in your workflow, and those activity are called as steps. Then some of the tips for efficient workflow configuration. The first one is modular design. So we need to break down complex workflow into smaller, manageable, and sub workflows. Then we also are required to give clear naming conventions so that while testing or debugging it, we can understand it. So use clear and consistent naming convention for task steps and containers. Then always document each step and its purpose for easier maintenance and troubleshooting. Also user involvement. So involve end users in testing phase to ensure the workflow meets the business requirement. It is also very crucial for us to fulfill the requirement for our workflow. So at the end of after the workflow creation has been done, we should also involve end users in the testing phase to ensure the workflow and meets the business requirement. So by following these steps, you can configure robust, efficient workflows in SAP to automate and streamline your business process. All right. So this is all about configuring workflow steps. Thank you very much.